Happy Easter, everybody! How are y'all doing today? I mean, when I upload this video, it's a couple days after Easter, but whatever, get over it. I'm doing great. Me and my family went to Miami for Easter, and we had a really good time. But now I'm back, and I actually have something to talk about, thank God. I didn't upload too much in March, so I'm gonna try to make it different this month. And I figured we'd start out the month by going over some good old-fashioned modern gaming journalism. Now, I'm sure you are all familiar with the symptoms of modern gaming. I'm not gonna go super deep into it, because honestly, I try to avoid it as much as possible, but modern gaming typically consists of live service games, and more importantly, what's being brought up a lot more recently is what some call wokeness. I don't like to say wokeness, I just think the word woke is stupid, but there's no doubt that with the arrival of companies like Sweet Baby Inc., quality of games seems to be taking a back seat to diversity and inclusion. Now, how does this relate to the Stellar Blade article we're taking a look at?
That is an excellent question.
And my answer to this question, dear viewer, is that as a part of this inclusion and empowerment, whatever you want to say, some companies have been making their female characters notoriously not as, shall we say, attractive as they used to. The first example that comes to mind is Mary Jane's redesign in Spider-Man 2, where she looks like she gained 50 pounds and got 30 years older. Another one is that character in Fable. You know the one I'm talking about. I'm probably showing it up on the screen right now. And, you know, unsurprisingly, people are not happy with this, because who would have thought gaming is a primarily male activity? And guess what men like? Attractive women. So when you intentionally make characters, I'm not gonna say ugly, but less attractive for the sake of like not over sexualizing or whatever you want to say, that's kind of a problem, because the people who care that women are too attractive in video games are the ones who don't even play games. And it honestly seems like the person who wrote this article is one of those people, because whoever wrote this goes to the extent of insulting the game's director, saying that he's never seen a real woman before. Like, you really just cannot make this up. Now, really quick, I need to preface this video by saying this. This article is from IGN France, and I didn't see like a translator on the website or anything, so I just plugged it into Google Translate, and it seems pretty accurate for the most part, but if there's anything that sounds weird, then that's why. Also, I feel like I need to say this. There was a note on the article saying that it was edited due to death threats. Now, I don't know what they edited, because obviously you'll see in a minute in the translation it still says all the same things that I was seeing on Twitter. But let me just take this time to say, please don't send people death threats over articles. Even if they had a bad take, that's no reason to threaten their life. Some people just need to calm down. So yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this. Humanity has been driven from Earth by evil aliens, and it's time to reclaim what's left of our good old planet. It is for this purpose that Eve and her squad are sent there, to beat down disgusting alien villains, but with extraordinary class, a formidable sword, and a tight outfit. In any case, this is the promise of Stellar Blade, the next big exclusive to the PS5 that we were able to test. Report of the first big hour of hunting in Natiba, who cares? So right off the bat, we're in the first paragraph and we're already getting some foreshadowing. Whoever wrote this is clearly not too happy about the tight outfit, which, you know, we've never had a female lead who was in a tight outfit before. We couldn't possibly have a strong female character in the lead role who also happens to be attractive and wearing a tight outfit. God, I am glad I'm the only one who goes on my computer. I have to download every image I show on screen, so my download folder is looking a bit suspicious right now. But like I said, that sentence was foreshadowing, so let's keep reading for now. It is in the shoes of Eve that we will reconquer the Earth. Our heroine will have the difficult task of cleaning up all this for us, given that the mass landing planned by the survivors of Earth has gone badly, and there is almost only her and her improbable plastic left to destroy the invader. Okay, so obviously that was an example of Google Translate messing up. I think it meant her sword. Maybe her sword's made of plastic, I don't know. Whatever, continuing on. Fortunately, she seems quite capable of it, and we immediately find ourselves happily slaying monsters on a SF version of the landing beach. Again, translation may be a bit off there, but whatever, you get the point. Eve has landed on the beach, and there's a lot of monsters, but luckily she's very powerful and she's capable of killing the monsters. I mean, a powerful lead woman, that sounds like something that somebody like you would want nowadays. It sure would be a shame if all of this was undone by the fact that she's in a tight suit. Let's get into the juicy part of the article, shall we? The design of the game, particularly its characters, highlights an obvious bias. We're going to smash the aliens, but if we can do it while pleasing these gentlemen, that's a bonus. And the result is not really a success. It's It's not new, and other games have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters, but where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or a 2B from Nier Automata inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade is just bland, a doll sexualized by someone you would think has never seen a woman. Oh boy, it's getting fun, ladies and gentlemen. The result is not really a success, you say? Well, given the very positive reaction from most people to Eve's design, I would say you're incorrect in that statement. Hell, a lot of people are into this game because of Eve's design. So if you ask me, the strategy kind of worked out. Appeal to the majority of gamers who are males with an attractive female design, rope them in with that, and then have some good gameplay on top of it. Also, I would just like to point out, this game is in its demo. Who's to say that Eve won't inspire people like cosplayers or something like that? It's too early to say. And as for, oh, Bayonetta has an iconic design, I would argue that Eve's looks iconic and already recognizable. Like, yeah, obviously you've had a bunch of other women wearing slim outfits before in video games, but I can confidently say that Eve's design is unique. She doesn't just blend in with somebody like Bayonetta or Samus or 2B. She has her own unique look, so I don't know where you're getting this, oh, she's just a bland doll thing from. But then the fact that you have the audacity to go after the director and say, oh, he's never seen a woman before, when he has a wife, by the way, that's just hilarious and pathetic. Like, my guy, are you sure that you've seen a woman before? Whatever, let's just keep going. A tight jumpsuit featuring absurd proportions, perfect heels for going to war, a ponytail so long that they have to put an option to shorten it in the settings. Fortunately, the animation is there, and Eve moves with grace and style that catches up with the painting. But Shin Jeon, I don't know how do you pronounce that, the Korean model serving as the character's model, is lost under layers of clumsy plastic modifications that make her unrecognizable both in body and face. Dude, what are you talking about absurd proportions? Because there are plenty of people out there who have similar proportions to Eve. Hell, like I said in the intro, I was in Miami for Easter, and some of the people there were even more out of proportion than Eve. Despite what you and the modern gaming crowd believe, there are real women who are attractive. And even putting that aside, it's a video game. Who cares if she's unusually attractive? That's what people want. You even said it yourself, you're pleasing the gentleman. Also, can we talk about the hypocrisy on display right here? This person just gave reasons for why Bayonetta was better than Eve, because she has an iconic design or whatever, and then criticizes Eve for the same things Bayonetta has. Heels and a long ponytail. Is it practical? No, but is it something that people want to look at? Yes. For God's sakes, it's a game about aliens taking over Earth, and there's like sentient robots and stuff. Is this really the game you want to criticize the realism in? God, this reminds me of the people who argue that Call of Duty is supposed to be like a realistic shooter. Also, it's funny that you say they covered up the model with all this plastic and stuff. It is true that they obviously had to edit her a little bit. I mean, they can't just do a one-for-one port. But from the images I've seen, the biggest changes they made were to her face, and maybe they exaggerated the body a little bit more. But again, going back to Spider-Man 2, this isn't like the Mary Jane situation, where they have this actress come in, they do the models or whatever, and then they just reshape the model to look completely different. Alrighty, let's continue on. The good news is that now that I've explained the only reservation I have with this game, all that remains is positive. This Stellar Blade demo delighted me from start to finish. It's rare that when I reach the end of a demo, I immediately restart it to take another ride. Oh, trust me, dude, I bet there's a lot of people who restarted this demo. Just probably not for the same reasons as you. And those same people definitely want to take something for a ride, just not the game. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry. God, it's so hard to stay PG when you're talking about topics like this. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I wanted to cover from the article. I read through the rest of it, and the rest of it is just this guy giving praises. So I guess once you look past the fact that this game committed the ultimate sin of having an attractive female character, you can actually enjoy it. Wow, isn't that amazing? So I guess before I go, I'll just give some closing thoughts. I genuinely, at this point, cannot tell if these people are real or not. This almost feels like rage bait. Part of the reason I say this is because apparently IGN responded to the backlash to this article by saying that non-French speakers read it incorrectly. Which, I mean, if we were reading it incorrectly, then why did you edit the article to make it sound better? Nothing says I'm in the right quite like editing what you originally wrote. The only way this could have been worse, I think, is if they just deleted the entire article, which thankfully they did not do. Then again, the first few paragraphs of this article should have been left out entirely, but hey, I guess it made for some good content. So yeah, with all that being said, that's gonna do it for this video. The moral of the story is don't have a a problem with attractive women in video games, especially when the audience is predominantly men. And then when you get called out for saying something stupid like that, don't gaslight people and tell them, oh, well, you just read it wrong. Like, no, you meant what you said and you said what you meant. Yes, that was a Horton Hears a Who reference. Now that I think about it, it's weird to make a reference to a children's book in a video where we're talking about attractive women in video games. Okay, whatever. I gotta end the video. God. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.